From our perspective in the NHS, it's very difficult to engage with particular kinds of young men, those who are very marginalised and disaffected and not on the outskirts of society.
My greatest professional concern, alongside domestic violence, would be violence involving young people.
When I was young, I didn't really trust anyone or anything, but like a service like MAC here, where they don't really ask you for anything, didn't really trust it at that point, because there's not been any service that's come to our estate and done something without taking our details or things like that.
I was working as a clinical psychologist in the NHS, and I knew there was something that I was doing in that service that wasn't working for young people who were particularly excluded. So I knew there must be a better way to deliver services, but I didn't know what it was. So I had to go and find a gang, and I hung out at a fish and chip shop for 6 months. I knew that I'd found my target group because they spat at me and they threw stones at me. And eventually one of them said, "What are you doing?" I said, "It seems to me there's lots of stuff out there, but none of it's working for you, and I need your help to set up something that's going to work." And that was the beginning of MAC UK.
The way that we work is quite different to other organisations trying to work with young people who might be at risk of offending or involved in gang activity. The first bit of what we try and do is lots of hanging out, just getting out there on the streets into the community, like in these sorts of places, looking for young people that we might know already or young people that we might want to get to know.
It felt good, just know that you could talk to someone that will take everything confidential and that also give you help, because you being a teenager, there's not really much people you could talk to.
Sort of after the hanging out period, we kind of use young people to bring other young people to youth-led activities. Music is always of interest, as is things like football, sports, obviously some of the things you might kind of expect.
MiniMac is an emerging social enterprise which was set up by 3 extremely inspiring young men. They were 3 young men that met me outside the fish and chip shop.
I feel like there's not a lot of guidance within the youth system, and obviously you have schools, the teachers are there, but they're there to teach lessons. They don't have that guidance in life. They don't have people that have been through what they're going through.
There's a lot of young people who are keen, budding, up-and-coming artists that, they show an interest in music, and we just guide it alongside the mental health kind of practice as well that we try and incorporate into it as well.
You talk to these young people, they'd say they wouldn't go near a doctor, a health service. So working in this different kind of way with MAC UK has enabled us to bring the health services into the domain of where these young people go, where they're living, and to try and link up with them in relation to things they find important.
Charlie just kept on coming, and she didn't give up, and people just felt yeah, this woman's actually genuine.
My position as a police officer, I'm always looking for answers, and I'm always looking for people who can help to find those answers. And MAC UK is one of the best I've ever come across.